Welcome, the anointed ones. When the weight of the truth becomes too heavy, even the proudest soul must kneel. Imagine this. Someone out there who's wronged you or kept secrets from you is out there trying to sleep, feeling like they're carrying a boulder in their chest. They toss and turn, trying to shake off the unease, but the guilt has woven itself into their very soul. And guess what? God won't let them rest until they confess to you. Yes, they're practically being haunted by their own conscience, and it's about time they come clean. Here's an intriguing fact. Studies show that the majority of people who harbor guilt feel physical symptoms, from restlessness to racing hearts. And for the chosen ones out there, this goes double. Your energy holds a unique power, an almost supernatural effect, making it impossible for people who've crossed you to find peace. They may even wake up drenched in sweat, mumbling things like, "I really should call them." So, if you're wondering why someone's suddenly eager to admit things they'd rather keep buried, get ready. It's not just a casual confession. It's an unraveling, a spiritual reckoning, and frankly, it's going to be a little entertaining to watch. Number 1, they can't escape the divine pressure on their conscience. When someone wrongs a chosen one, it's not like any ordinary feeling of guilt. It becomes a relentless weight on their spirit, amplified by a force they can't quite shake off. It's as if the universe itself won't let them off the hook. No matter how they try to bury what they did or push it to the back of their mind, the pressure builds, whispering to them, creeping into their quietest moments. Every attempt to ignore it feels like tightening a knot around their own chest until it's unbearable. There's no relief because this isn't just their mind playing tricks on them. It's divine pressure, an unrelenting force that almost demands they face up to the truth. They start to feel this in every part of their life. Out of nowhere, small annoyances become overwhelming burdens, their patience thins, and even sleep betrays them, bringing uneasy dreams or that gnawing restlessness that keeps them awake, staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night. They realize this feeling is bigger than anything they can just shrug off. They feel as though they're being guided or maybe even forced toward making things right, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. And the thought of confessing, it starts to feel like their only path to freedom. That's the power of divine justice. It won't let them go until they come clean. The more they resist, the heavier the pressure gets, like a weight pressing down on their heart. The truth they're holding back is like a stone in their spirit, making it impossible to move forward. The only way they'll ever feel relief is by confessing to you. It's not just about owning up, it's about survival, about easing a burden they can't escape until they make things right with you. Number 2, they realize you are part of their spiritual test. When someone wrongs a chosen one, it's rarely a simple act of selfishness or a lapse in judgment. It's often much bigger than that. Deep down, on a level they may not even fully understand, they sense that this is part of a much larger, almost mystical test. There's something unique about a chosen one's presence, a sort of spiritual gravity that brings out both the best and worst in others. For the person who's wronged you, it's as if their spirit knows it has fallen short, and it needs to make amends to pass through this test of integrity. This isn't about getting a slap on the wrist from their conscience, it's about facing a spiritual crossroad. They feel an uncomfortable sense that their own growth or evolution is now tied to you. What they did, whether it was lying, betrayal, or simply failing to treat you as you deserved, isn't just something they can forget. The act itself becomes a shadow over them, a reminder that they fell short in front of someone whose very essence demands honesty, respect, and alignment with higher principles. Confessing to you becomes, on some level, a way of trying to redeem themselves, not just in your eyes, but in their own spirit's journey. The pressure to come clean isn't just to ease their guilt, it's a quiet desperation to avoid getting stuck on a lower level of consciousness. It's as if their spirit is saying, "You failed this test, but maybe, if you're brave enough to admit it, you can still find a way forward." And so, they're pushed toward you, compelled by an invisible force that makes them realize that, without this confession, they might be spiritually stranded. Owning up becomes a way for them to reclaim a sense of worth, and to move beyond a choice that has left a deep, undeniable mark on their soul. Number 3, your presence disrupts their energy field. When someone crosses a chosen one, it's as if their entire energy field is thrown out of balance. A chosen one radiates a unique frequency, one that brings clarity, honesty, and authenticity to every interaction. This energy is powerful, even disruptive, especially to anyone carrying secrets or hidden wrongs. When someone has wronged you, your energy begins to act like a mirror, reflecting back the weight of what they've done. They can't shake it off because every time they're around you, your presence disrupts that hidden energy within them, bringing it up to the surface. They start to feel exposed, uneasy, and even defensive. It's as if your energy stirs up a storm inside them, forcing them to confront what they'd rather ignore. This is no small discomfort. When they're near you, they feel a kind of pressure that isn't just mental, it's almost physical. Your energy acts like a tuning fork, resonating in such a way that anything inauthentic within them vibrates uncomfortably. They might feel restless, irritated, or even a little paranoid, as if you can see right through their layers. In your presence, their guilt transforms into something that feels impossible to hide. They're acutely aware of it, and it weighs on them in a way that's almost unbearable. This disturbance builds up over time, pushing them closer to a breaking point. The only way they can find any relief is by coming clean to you. It's like they're seeking to balance their own energy field by confessing, hoping that if they own up, the weight of this disturbance will finally lift. Being around you with unresolved guilt feels like carrying a ticking bomb inside them. It's only a matter of time before they're compelled to face the truth. Confession becomes the only way to find any sense of peace. Number 4, confessing becomes their last hope to stop bad luck. When someone wrongs a chosen one, it's as if they unknowingly invite a wave of misfortune into their own life. At first, they might brush it off as coincidence, missing an important deadline here, a small argument there. But then, the setbacks begin to pile up. They start missing out on opportunities that were once within reach, experiencing financial strains, or dealing with constant disruptions in their personal life. What seemed like a string of bad days turns into something far more relentless, as if an unseen force is blocking them at every turn. Their bad luck isn't just bad timing, it's like an invisible weight is pulling their life off course, creating chaos and disappointment where things used to flow. This unsettling string of events begins to wear on them, mentally and emotionally. No matter what they try to do to fix it, working harder, planning better, staying positive, nothing seems to break the streak. That's when they start to wonder if their actions toward you are tied to what's happening to them. The idea might start as a quiet whisper, a small thought in the back of their mind, but it grows louder as their luck gets worse. They begin to suspect that their misfortune might be some form of cosmic justice, a repercussion they hadn't anticipated. Eventually, they reach a point where the only way out seems to be a confession. Owning up to their actions starts to feel like their only shot at breaking this curse. They're desperate for relief, and the thought of confessing to you becomes almost like a lifeline, a way to clear the slate and end the spiral of bad luck that's taken over their life. In their mind, confession is no longer just about easing guilt. It's about finding a way to stop the downward trajectory their life has taken since they wronged you. Number 5. The unseen soul contract pulls them toward you. For some, the connection to a chosen one goes deeper than either of them might consciously understand. There's a sense of an unseen soul contract at play, an agreement made on a spiritual level, perhaps even before they came into this life. This soul contract means that, at some point, they would cross paths with you, make a mistake that would test both of your spirits, and then be given the choice to make things right. Wronging you isn't simply a random act. It's part of a larger spiritual lesson, a preordained obligation woven into their soul's path. This isn't just a matter of a standard apology or a simple sorry. It's much deeper, a profound chance for them to experience humility, growth, and accountability through the act of facing you. Whether they consciously realize it or not, there's a pull drawing them back to you, urging them to confess, not only to ease their conscience, but to fulfill this higher purpose embedded in their soul's journey. It's as though they've been given a spiritual task, and avoiding it isn't an option. They can't truly move forward until they meet this obligation. With every day they resist the call to confess. They feel increasingly out of alignment, disconnected from themselves and from life's flow. They might feel a strange emptiness, an unexplained sense of being lost or incomplete. This pull toward you becomes their spirit's way of saying, "You have unfinished business here." By coming clean, they fulfill their role in this soul contract, finding not only redemption, but a crucial lesson that brings them closer to their true purpose. The confession isn't merely a relief. It's a bridge to spiritual growth, a moment of reckoning that frees them to move forward, a step toward the person they're meant to become. Number 6, they fear your spiritual power to expose them. When someone wrongs a chosen one, they often come to recognize that they're dealing with a force beyond what they're used to. It's not like deceiving just anyone, it's like trying to hide from someone who can see beyond the surface. They begin to sense that your intuition, your spiritual power, is far sharper than they realized. It unnerves them. You have an uncanny ability to read between the lines, to feel what others bury, and to see through masks. And that's what terrifies them the most, the idea that you might already know or could easily uncover their actions. This awareness eats at them, creating an anxiety that won't let up. They start to fear that any day, at any moment, you might confront them, expose the truth they're so desperate to hide. Their secrets feel fragile in your presence, like they could crack open with a single look or word from you. This fear becomes a motivator, driving them to come clean before they're fully unmasked. They don't just fear your judgment, they fear the spiritual repercussions of keeping the truth hidden from someone as tuned in as you. It's like they're standing on the edge of a cliff, feeling that with each lie they hold onto, they're inviting a stronger force to take action. To them, confessing seems like the only way to soften the consequences they believe are coming. They hope that by taking the first step, by facing you openly, they might lessen the inevitable fallout. Owning up to their actions feels like the only chance to protect themselves from an even harsher reckoning. A spiritual blowback they sense is looming. In your presence, their need to confess becomes urgent, almost desperate, as if it's their last shot at escaping an inner storm only you seem to have the power to unleash. Number 7. Their ego is finally defeated by spiritual consequence. For someone who wrongs a chosen one, admitting fault would normally be unthinkable. Their ego is a fortress, a shield that blocks them from acknowledging any wrongdoing. Pride keeps them convinced that they're always in control, always above the need for apologies. But this time something shifts. They start to feel a weight pressing down on them, something beyond the usual pangs of guilt. It's not just their conscience bothering them, it's the sense that they're up against a force much bigger than themselves. The energy they're feeling is almost oppressive, as though the universe itself is demanding they come clean. And for the first time, they sense that their ego is powerless in the face of this spiritual consequence. Their usual defenses crumble under this weight. It's a divine reckoning, a consequence that strikes at the core of who they are, breaking through every mental barrier they've built to keep themselves untouchable. The unsettling feeling grows daily, creating a restlessness that even their pride can't ignore. They realize that no amount of ego, denial, or self-righteousness can shield them from this force pressing them toward truth. The weight becomes unbearable, leaving them only one option: to surrender. Confessing feels like their only path forward. It's no longer about saving face or minimizing the fallout. It's about releasing the tension of fighting against something infinitely more powerful than their own will. In that moment, confession becomes an act of humility, a recognition that they are not in control, that they can't outrun the consequences of their actions. They finally see that there's no winning against the spiritual forces at play. The confession isn't just an apology, it's a rare moment of surrender, a humbling acknowledgement that they've reached the limits of their own power. Number 8. The energy of truth has started to haunt them. When someone wrongs a chosen one, the lies they tell weave a complex web around them, creating a false sense of security. In their minds, they think they can maintain control by burying the truth. But lies generate their own energy, a heavy, tangled force that soon becomes suffocating. Over time, the weight of this falsehood grows unbearable, transforming into a gnawing feeling that something isn't right. It's as if their very essence is being suffocated by the deceit they've spun. But this energy is nothing compared to the relentless force of truth. As the days pass, they start to feel the energy of truth encroaching on their reality, an almost haunting presence that won't let go. It manifests in various ways, recurring dreams that remind them of what they've done, sudden flashes of memory that catch them off guard, or inexplicable waves of anxiety that wash over them without warning. They might find themselves waking in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, as visions of their wrongdoing swirl in their mind. This energy isn't something they can ignore. It stalks them, creeping into their thoughts and disrupting their peace. They begin to sense that something is pursuing them, an intangible force that demands acknowledgement. This feeling grows more intense, a primal urge to confront what they've hidden. No matter how hard they try to shake it off, the truth relentlessly pulls at them, urging them to face the reality they've avoided for so long. They realize that the only way to silence this haunting energy is to confess to you, to admit what they did. In that moment, they come to understand that the weight of their lies is far lighter than the burden of facing the truth. By confronting you and revealing their actions, they can finally break free from the energy that has entangled them, liberating their spirit from the shadows that have followed them for too long. Number 9. Their spirit is seeking your forgiveness to find rest. Deep within, there's a part of them that understands a powerful truth. Forgiveness from a chosen one is unlike any other. It's not just a simple act of kindness or a way to smooth over a mistake. It represents a unique form of grace, a spiritual balm that can heal wounds and restore balance. They may not fully comprehend it, but their spirit craves this forgiveness desperately. It's a hunger that goes beyond words or actions. It's an innate yearning for release from the burdens they've carried since they wronged you. This craving isn't merely about wanting your forgiveness to ease their guilt. It's about seeking an essential energy cleanse for their spirit. They recognize that holding on to their deceit has tainted their essence, leaving them feeling heavy and clouded. Without your forgiveness, their spirit feels trapped, burdened by a sense of shame and regret that weighs them down. They may find themselves navigating life in a haze, unable to fully connect with joy or peace. The knowledge that your forgiveness could provide the liberation they need gnaws at them, a constant reminder of what's at stake. The desire for your forgiveness transcends the surface level of an apology. It's a soul-deep yearning for release from the chains of their own making. They understand that coming to you and admitting their wrongdoing is a critical step toward that freedom. It's about unshackling themselves from the emotional turmoil that has plagued them, allowing their spirit to rise above the weight of their choices. In confessing to you, they hope to reclaim a sense of wholeness, to feel the lightness that comes from being forgiven by someone with such profound spiritual insight. This journey toward your forgiveness becomes a quest for their own redemption, a vital step in healing their spirit and restoring the peace they've longed for. Number 10. They want to earn your respect even if they don't deserve it. At the core of their turmoil lies a profound realization. Your respect is sacred, a rare gem that they've forfeited through their actions. They understand the weight of what they've lost, and it eats at them. Yet, in this moment of clarity, they feel a stirring deep within, a desperate urge to confess, to lay bare their wrongs in hopes of reclaiming even a shred of that honor back. To them, being honest with you carries more significance than any validation they might receive from the outside world. Your opinion is not just another judgment. It's a reflection of who they could be if they weren't bogged down by guilt and shame. They see you as a mirror, one that reflects not only their failures but also their potential for growth. In your presence, they recognize the possibility of redemption, however small it may seem. The idea of confessing and earning even a fraction of your respect becomes a beacon of hope for them. They want to stand before you, stripped of their ego and vulnerabilities, and express their truth. In doing so, they're not just seeking your approval, they're yearning to witness a different version of themselves reflected back, one that embodies honesty, integrity, and the potential for change. This moment isn't merely about regret, it's about the possibility of transformation. They know they may not deserve your respect at this moment, but the desire to earn it drives them forward. It's a compelling force pushing them to confront their wrongs and seek the honesty that could begin to mend the rift between you. They want to be seen as more than their mistakes. They long to emerge from the shadows of their choices, standing in the light of your acknowledgement. In confessing, they hope to step into a new narrative, one where they can redefine themselves and cultivate the respect they so deeply crave, reflecting the truest version of who they are meant to be. Number 11. They hope you hold the power to unblock them. After they've wronged you, an unsettling stagnation settles into their life, as if everything has come to a standstill. Relationships that once flourished begin to falter, with friends drifting away or conflicts surfacing. Their career, once promising and vibrant, feels stuck in neutral, and opportunities slip through their fingers like sand. Even their health seems to deteriorate, a physical manifestation of the turmoil swirling within them. In this state of chaos, they start to recognize a disturbing pattern. Everything they once took for granted now feels blocked, as if some unseen force has severed their connection to abundance and joy. On a subconscious level, they begin to see you as a gatekeeper, a crucial figure whose presence holds the key to unlocking the flow of life they desperately miss. The realization dawns on them that their actions have not only hurt you, but have also created a barrier between them and the universe's natural abundance. In their mind, if they can just make amends with you, if they can confess and clear the air, they might have a chance to restore the balance that has been lost. This confession becomes a desperate bid for freedom, a last-ditch effort to regain the flow of positivity that has been cut off. They hope that by addressing the wrong they've committed against you, they will not only mend the relationship, but also reopen the channels of good fortune that seem to have closed off. It's an act of faith, believing that your forgiveness can act as the catalyst that transforms their life from stagnation back to abundance. They're not just seeking your pardon, they're yearning for the chance to reclaim their vitality, creativity, and joy. In their eyes, your forgiveness symbolizes a return to the life they once enjoyed, a life filled with connection, opportunity, and health. The weight of their confession carries not just the burden of regret, but the hope that it will unlock the door to a brighter, more prosperous future. Number 12. They feel the spiritual power shift as you rise. As a chosen one, your spiritual journey has become a vibrant tapestry of growth, elevation, and profound transformation. You're not just existing, you're actively rising to new heights, and that shift doesn't go unnoticed. They can sense the change in your energy, the way your presence now radiates strength and purpose. Meanwhile, their own journey has stagnated, leaving them feeling trapped in a cycle of their own making. It's a palpable contrast. Your spirit is soaring, while theirs feels heavy and stuck, like a ship anchored in turbulent waters. This disparity creates an undeniable tension, a widening gap that grows harder to ignore. They can feel the spiritual power shift around you, a dynamic force that highlights their own limitations and failures. In the face of your ascent, they're confronted with the harsh reality of their choices and the consequences that have led them to this point. The urgency to confess begins to bubble to the surface, driven by a desperate need to bridge that gap before it becomes an insurmountable chasm. They're acutely aware that without some form of reconciliation, they risk being left behind, spiritually stranded and diminished. This confession is their attempt to realign themselves with you, to restore some semblance of connection before you fully move on. It's not merely about seeking forgiveness, it's about acknowledging the power dynamic that has shifted so dramatically. They recognize that as you ascend, they are at risk of being eclipsed entirely, and the thought of that isolation is terrifying. They want to pull themselves out of the shadows and step into the light, hoping that by coming clean, they can reclaim a space in your spiritual journey. It's a recognition that your growth doesn't just impact them, it opens the door for their own potential transformation. Ultimately, this act of confession becomes a crucial step in their desire for redemption, a last-ditch effort to realign themselves with your powerful energy. They hope that by facing their wrongs, they can shift the tide of their own stagnation and find a way back to the spiritual path they once lost. They yearn to be part of your journey again, not as an anchor, but as someone who can walk alongside you, enriched by the connection that once brought them joy. The journey of seeking forgiveness and confession is not merely a transactional exchange. It's a profound exploration of the human spirit, laden with complexity and depth. For those who have wronged a chosen one, the stakes are nothing short of existential. They grapple with a multitude of fears, regrets, and realizations that intertwine to form a desperate need for redemption. This quest for honesty is not just about making amends. It's a pathway to reclaiming their essence, a vital step toward unearthing the abundance that once flowed freely in their lives. In reaching out, they acknowledge the sacredness of your respect and the power you hold as a gatekeeper to their own liberation. The act of confession becomes their lifeline, a thread that could potentially weave them back into the tapestry of your elevated existence. They recognize that this isn't just about alleviating their guilt. It's about the hope of spiritual alignment, a chance to rise alongside you rather than be left in the shadows of their own making. Ultimately, their longing to confess reflects a deep yearning for connection, a desire to bridge the spiritual distance that has grown between you. They seek not just forgiveness, but an opportunity to rediscover their place in the world, to align their path with the light that you embody. As they summon the courage to speak their truth, they step into a moment that transcends mere words. It becomes a transformative act that echoes through the fabric of their being. Whether or not their confession leads to reconciliation, it marks a pivotal moment of self-awareness, courage, and the possibility of redemption. In this intricate dance of souls, they come to understand that the journey toward forgiveness is as much about their own awakening as it is about restoring the bond with you. If you found these insights resonating with your own journey and the complexities of human relationships, don't miss out on the transformative content we share here. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of seekers and truth-tellers. Together, we'll delve deeper into the spiritual paths that guide us, explore the nuances of connection and forgiveness, and uncover the wisdom that empowers us all. Your support means the world, and we can't wait to continue this journey with you. So subscribe now, and let's elevate our spirits together. God bless you.